So we have been through Ragnarok. We're now in the sort of post-game. Got some post-game quests to do, some bosses to fight. But yeah, Atreus is gone. He's gone to fulfill his destiny as the sort of savior of the Jotun. Was it Jotun? Was that like the term for people from Jotunheim? Anyway, the savior of the giants. Kind of find his people to unify what's left of them. And Kratos seemingly, if I'm interpreting the Grower's prophecy correctly, is to sort of fulfill his destiny as the sort of replacement for Odin, really, as the sort of ruler of the realm. Maybe with Freyr alongside him, I don't know. Tough to say. And yeah, I guess as we sort of make our way through bits of the post-game, I'll try and just chat about the experience in general rather than doing it in a condensed way.
It's strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That could only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Jormi, fresh from Jotunheim, who would grow into the serpent we know.
Really?
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they met in Jotunheim.
Perhaps so, brother. We'll have to ask the lad for that story when we next see him.
The snake that we put the soul into with Angrboda, that's Jormungandr. How did I not twig that? Yeah, because Angrboda was saying he's grown. That's mental. That is mental. Oh, that was awesome. That is very awesome. Right, so we're going to check out these remnants of Asgard. I don't think there's anything else I can really upgrade with my experience points. We've got New Game Plus unlocked. I guess the plan will be, I would like to finish the Berserker quest line. I'd like to fight, I've forgotten her name now, the Valkyrie Queen who betrayed it, who was on Odin's side. She had a short name. What was it now? Anyway, we'll tackle her. We'll go to Brock's funeral in Svartalfheim. And whether I do the challenges in Muspelheim, I'll maybe have a crack at them, but I don't know. We'll see. And then obviously we've got Valhalla, which I'm intrigued by. I don't know what it is. I've resisted the urge to sort of Google.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. Perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Jorm even remembers after all this time who he once was.
Interesting.
Hi,
Yeah.
Kratos.
All makes sense, right? Did we leave anything good
This will
behind?
be of use.
12 pack silver, you bastard.
What is wrong?
No, nothing. It's just, don't know if you've heard, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brock in Svartalfheim.
A funeral.
Yeah. We're meeting at Rab's Tavern in Nethervalir.
We will be there.
I think I've still got my resurrection stone. So yeah, we'll attend the funeral as a priority, but I just want to check out while we're in Midgard, rather than jumping around too much. We'll see what these
Mimir,
shards...
there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Hrasfelgr.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Mimir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hell's Eagle wants to retire?
And you're going to take over?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be hell?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become hell, as it were.
Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Okay, these are probably just going to be little challenge arenas.
Your master is no more.
Sigil magic to break through their shield! The rider heals his mount!
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Yeah, yeah.
Good risk!
I felt that one, brother.
Oh!
Sigil magic to break through their shield! Take care of the rider first!
This is the lab.
I was trying to out-Bifrost him.
Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realm.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out.
There's about 2 in each realm, I think. Yeah. Broken Einherjar weapons that have fallen can be used to upgrade attachments. What's in here? I mean, we've been to the Well of Erd before, but it was blocked off. Where the Norns were. Okay, fair enough. Right, there was one more. Shard up here. On the bridge, seemingly. After that, we'll go to Svartalfheim for Brock.
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see.
No, I can't go.
Yeah. You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. But enough of that for now.
Sorry, I guess I got off the sled just as he started, as that was starting. But yeah, I really thought that it would have been. I guess we should have put more trust in Faye, I suppose. But I thought that the ending was going to be way more tragic than it was. Double riders.
Watch for the horn!
Thanks for that, Mimi. Oh, they've both got riders now.
Brace yourself! Parry it!
On the left!
Take care of the rider
I don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
No chest? Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I've had a great time, to be honest. I think it's best to think of, like, the God of War, like, present-day experience, like, combining the two games. I think comparing the two, I mean, some of you in the comments, and I generally would agree, I think that this is more of a complete game, but I think that the first game probably had a slightly better plot, just because we weren't necessarily following all of the prophecy. We were a much smaller part of the world, right? And we didn't really know all of the world. I guess because even though we hadn't been to all of the realms, we were kind of treading over past ground a little bit here. So we were a bigger part of the world in this game than we were in the first game, right? I think is the way of putting it. Whereas in the first game, we were just kind of going under the radar. We had our own little personal mission that was a part of something much bigger, but we just didn't realize it yet. So there was more sort of world discovery going on, whereas this was maybe a bit more world conquering almost. So yeah, just generally different. This is yeah, and I think that maybe if you were a big fan of the older games, the original games, which admittedly I haven't played. I think I played some of one of the games, you know, like as a rental when I was a teenager, perhaps. So maybe a lot of this has a real full circle element for Kratos in particular, if you played the original games as well. But yeah, it's great. I think that one thing that's an interesting dynamic with some AAA games like this is that they because they're sort of so well-rounded, right? That they almost feel like they don't have a central mechanic or central hook, if that makes sense. Because it's difficult to pinpoint to one thing that you would maybe if you were telling someone about the game or trying to recommend the game, you would just say it's like a really great, you know, action-adventure game in a way, but there's no sort of central mechanic, I think, that you would point towards, because it is really well-rounded, right? It's graphically, it's really impressive. The gameplay is enjoyable and engaging and has a certain degree of depth and customization, but not to an extreme level. You know, the characters are really well performed and well realized, and they have their own storylines. But, you know, there's no dialogue choice or anything like that. The world is cool to explore, but it's not open world in a more typical sense. So yeah, it does a lot of things really, really well. It's difficult to isn't it? I think it is really difficult to pinpoint to, like, I don't know. I think that's one of its strengths, but also one of the things that's I don't know if it does anything like industry leading. I think it just does everything really, really well, so it creates this really coherent experience continuing through the first game and this game.
Freya, you spoke
yeah.
of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freya had ever seen.
This separated Freya from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freya ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool.
Right, there was probably some other stuff here, some chests and all that, but yeah, I'm okay with it. Right, let's head to Svartalfheim.
Hey, near the little shop I'm running out in the Alfheim Desert, there's something y'all are probably gonna see.
Yeah?
Hell of a job you did at Ragnarök, General. Wish I could have been there to see you and Sindri take down Thor and Odin.
That is not what happened.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's the story I like best. Important thing is, Odin's paid in full for what he did to Brock. I know it doesn't fix what's broke, but it ain't nothing.
Hello, Lunda.
Hey, you goddess. About your brother, I never got the chance to tell you. I know moments like this you're supposed to say sorry and whatnot, but I always known that pretty man had greatness in him. That he'd do something amazing one day, and I'm just, you know, I'm proud. that now the Nine Realms know it too.
I thank you.
Anytime, ma'am.
Okay, let's head to Svartalfheim. Yeah, and I think that, like, maybe one of the biggest compliments I can pay the game is that I don't think there are any major flaws. Like I said, I think it's just really well-rounded. And it just means that you're always happy to play the game. I think that in terms of like small things, I think the only mechanics that maybe I didn't get on with, I think that maybe I just was a bit rubbish at doing it, but the Hex Arrow Blaze of Chaos fire linking puzzles, I found those a little frustrating. But other than that, I think the only other thing is, I think I've maybe said this before, but I'm always a little bit weird. I always get a little bit weirded out by sort of strong American accents in sort of medieval fantasy games. It just doesn't kind of work for me, because I know that this is a fantasy game, but you know, the fantasy genre has its roots in sort of northern medieval Europe, right? In terms of and you know, we're in this Norse mythology, right? And so just because the American accent is a new world accent, you know, that's been around for maybe like the last 300 years, 400 years or whatever. 300 years probably? No, 300 years, right? 2 to 3. I just never think that it really fits, but I don't mind it if it's sort of mild. Like, I don't know, I guess like The Witcher did it a bit, right? Each group had their own sort of, like, and the Witchers have slightly American accents, and then they use sort of British and Irish and European accents to represent the other groups, right? You know, like the Skelligers have Irish accents, the Dwarves have Scottish, the Halflings have Welsh, and the Northern have Northern English, you know, etc., etc. But like, you know, like London's accent, Brock's accent and stuff, it feels a little bit too hot. It just doesn't, for me, doesn't quite go with the setting. But yeah, I think those are the only two things that I don't necessarily get along with. I would just prefer. I don't think there's anything wrong with them using, you know, like Scandinavian accents. But you know, I guess, you know, Kratos doesn't have a Greek accent or anything like that. But I really liked it in A Plague Tale: Innocence. You know, how everyone was, you know, in the English localization, people were speaking English, but they just had a French accent tinge to it, right? It was still easy to understand and everything, but it just, I think it was a bit more immersive, just for the setting. So I would have liked to see them use, you know, Scandinavian kind of accents. Similar to what they did in the TV show Vikings, right? Everyone was speaking English, but it just had that lilt in the accent. We've got Mimir, right? We've got Mimir's Scottish accent to keep us going. Right, Svartalfheim is here. We want to head straight into Nidalee. Easiest way to get to that pub is this. It's not through. Oh, no, that's the quest marker. But I mean, everything else in the game. I mean, I really enjoy the combat. It's got its own. It's its own mix, right? It has a. I think you could tell straight away in the first game it had a little bit of a Souls influence in terms of the rhythm of combat, but then you have all these other attacks that make it more of an action game. And then you do, I think I maybe haven't experimented with the customization too much. I'm definitely guilty of sort of finding a little bit of a build and settling into it. But, you know, the progression of the unlocks with the weapons and the runic attacks is still gradual throughout the game. But I really enjoy the challenge and the difficulty. If I did play on New Game Plus, I'd probably try it on the really high difficulty. I wouldn't do that on a playthrough because I'd just be recording endlessly all the attempts. But I enjoy that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think what I mean with the accents, sorry, I mean like Freya and Kratos, that is sort of the limit of what I'd say. But then when like Brock and Lunda, I think that is just a little bit. I don't think it quite goes with the setting, in my opinion. Back in Svartalfheim. Right, now I expect Sindri is not going to be here, right? Because ultimately he's going to feel responsible, right? Because he brought Brock back without that 1/4 of his soul. That ultimately meant he couldn't be revived. And that's part of why he's so crestfallen, right? Not just at Brock's death, but because of the... He's feeling responsible, right?
Profane alternate lyrics to my ballads. Absolutely disgusting. But now I wish I could remember some of them.
The paperwork that man created for me. I had to build a chest just for his violations. A big one.
I taught him 20 different ways to cold forge a bolster. Once, he taught me a slightly easier method of wire pulling, and from that day on called me his apprentice.
A true asshole he was. Gods, I'm gonna miss him.
Hi, y'all made it. Just about to send him off.
I have met many on my travels. You are one of the few I would call friend.
I always thought you were one of the dumbest creatures I'd ever met. Didn't expect you to be the bravest, too.
Yeah.
This world is a darker place for your leaving it.
We're taking him to the Sverd Sands. It's, in the wetlands near the ferry. We'll wait for you there.
It's the easiest way to get there. That's a mile away, isn't it? Okay, we can fast travel there, or we can sort of... I don't know if... Can we get through this bit now? Because there's a remnant of Asgard here, but... I think we can get there. I don't know if it said there was a remnant here. No, there's not one in Needblue. There is one over here. Right, so there's 3 in Svartalfheim. Probably be better off fast travelling, to be fair. But we're going to have to get to this one anyway, so... But yeah, I mean, part of me thought... I don't know... I know that they... I guess they're done with this franchise now, but a part of me wondered if they were going to... We've been over there, right? If they were going to set up Kratos traveling to one of the other realms. Not realms, one of the other mythologies, right? Because that was set up a little bit in the first game with the preview we had of Egypt and... Was it Japan? The other one? But I guess they've...
Hey, you know that shop in the Alpine Desert? Something you might want to see out there.
Yeah. I wondered if they were going to set that up, right? How if Atreus was going to go off and do his thing to be the savior of the giants, if Kratos was just then going to decide to leave, right? Decide that there was nothing else left here for him. Alright, let's get to sailing. But yeah, the boss fight with Odin was really cool. I think we were quite overpowered by that part in the game, right? So it felt like we had an answer to everything he threw at us. And we felt suitably tanky. Maybe if we would have gone before doing all that extra stuff in Vanaheim's extra area in the crater, it would have been way more challenging. I did die once, right? Or maybe twice. Couldn't use the resurrection stone in the fight though. But yeah, the soundtrack's been great, right? It has that real guttural feeling to it. Really swells at the right moments. Has a good mix of the sort of wind instruments and the strings, as well as the sort of the chanting feel, right? The guttural chanting feel, which is really satisfying. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think it, honestly, the simplest way of putting it, just like I said at the beginning, it's just such a well-rounded experience from start to finish. When I do these little game summaries, I always feel like I say the word experience way too much and it annoys me. I'm going to try and not do that. But yeah, I think maybe this game, perhaps more than the first game, struggles a little bit with the pacing, perhaps, just because there's so much to do outside of the main quest. Maybe whether depending on how you play the game, it creates these sort of large gaps between some of the main quest events, right? Whereas
Over
maybe
there. Maybe another fallen piece of Asgard.
We should look into it.
Yeah. Maybe the first game was a little bit of a tighter. Oh, Freya, I thought you were someone else. Hello there. Oh, look at all the extra damage. Oh, that was quite easy.
I just had a thought. With Asgard destroyed, where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of them?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere.
Oh, it rests inside and outside of Asgard. Really? It's not like some weird heaven, then. There's something undiscovered. Maybe it's a berserker. Doubtful. They tend to show up on the map, regardless. I'm expecting that berserker fight in Helheim, was it Helheim? Wherever it was, to be a double fight anyway, because we fought 10 of 12 berserkers, so... But yeah, in terms of thinking about, because, you know, there's a lot of cinematics in the game, I'm trying to think of what I would class as my favourite moment in the game, and I think Freya's definitely been, outside of Kratos and Atreus, has definitely been the standout character throughout the two games. And I think that her moment of reconciliation with Kratos, her cutting of the bond with Odin, and sort of coming to terms with Baldur's death and her, I guess, her responsibility for it, or how responsible she feels for it, was definitely the best moment for me. It was the most emotional moment, I felt. It just swelled, right? She'd lost so much, right? She'd lost almost everything, and she has now with her brother going as well in the end, but she'd lost so much, and to still not lose herself in the face of that, I thought was... Yeah, it was just really awesome character. It was just and it made sense, right, in terms of her character development. There must have been a windy wall over here. But yeah, that was definitely my favourite moment. I think one thing I really enjoyed was feeling how all the way through the games, right, feeling unsure about what Atreus was ultimately going to be like. Whether he was, I do think that was one of the best vibes, I guess, in both games, was wondering if Atreus was going to turn into some sort of tyrannical figure, right? Whether he was going to join Odin, whether he was going to become...
That's a realm tear, all right. From Garm. Are we going to close it?
Yeah, whether he was going to be sort of this idea of Loki as the god of mischief, right? But whether he was going to join Odin, right? It was just always felt a bit on the fence with it, right? Because he showed flashes of that kind of side of himself, right? Hey!
This is not over.
Give me that! Jesus, man. Right. Nearly got all them cores. Oh. I think we've got one more level to go on the Leviathan axe. Yeah, the other two are max level. Right, so I need one more Frozen Spark, then all our weapons are completely upgraded. Be interested to see what the studio do next. My mind just went blank. Because yeah, they'll have generated a lot of business here for PlayStation, right? So, but it is with an existing IP that they've massively changed. But what are they going to do next? Santa Monica, there you go. Because, you know, PlayStation are getting up to that sort of scenario, right? Right, Horizon will have one more game. The Last of Us will probably have one more game that I'm never going to play. This is finished now. This wasn't a trilogy. I imagine PlayStation probably would have wanted this to be a trilogy, right? Where is the little boat? Here it is. It was over there, right? Yeah, who knows where they'll go from here? It's a sort of, it's a AAA game, but it's quite niche.
I should have changed. Sewn some mourning garb. We're not dressed properly.
We're fine. The dwarves don't typically require formal wear at funerals.
Brock certainly would not.
Perhaps.
Phil, now you've got me thinking of what I might look like with some jewellery around my neck stump. Maybe some gold woven into my beard. That'd be quite fetching, eh?
Thanks for trying.
There they are, brother.
Oh, come on, surely he'll be along. It's his brother.
Let's hope so. Loss can do things to a man.
I don't
You
think
made
he
it.
will.
We can begin.
I love you, Brooke. Sindri. Blackpuss. A hole. What? Gets bigger the more you take away.
alright, we get an actual roll credit. Yeah. You get a bit of a strange feeling, right? Because, you know, for so much of both games, Brock and Sindri were a lot of comic relief, right? They had a lot of poignant stories and played an important role with Atreus and Kratos, right? And similar to Mimir in a lot of ways. So yeah, it just sort of hits in a different way, right?
I don't know if there's anything beyond the light. Afterlives after afterlives or whatever you. But if there is, I imagine he's causing one crazy ruckus there.
Amen, brother.
I wrote that dirge for him.
What's it called?
Something profane.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, that music then was, yeah, otherworldly.
Forgive Sindri. He's just, I mean,
Broken.
you know.
Right, so I guess we head across. To deal with this last... It's not the last one, but this next... Shard of Asgard. Be interested if Sindri somehow manages to find Atreus. Maybe? Right. There wasn't a way to teleport from here, was there? No? It's not a quick run through these mines, actually, is it? But we've done all the extra combat in here anyway, so maybe it'll be a straight shot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there are any other major criticisms of the game. I mean, maybe one thing it suffered from a little bit, from the same as the first game, maybe the enemy variety, because there was quite a lot of stuff reused from the first game. Which, I mean, I don't think you can really complain about that in AAA games. All AAA sequels reuse things because it's too expensive to make all brand new stuff game to game, right? I mean, From Software's done it for over a decade now, right? Oh, we do have a gate. A new one. Yeah, we'll just hop over. There's no reason to traipse through the mines again. So, you know, I don't think it made a... I think the combat was still really good. I think they added enough new stuff. There was an entire new weapon, right? More... alternating companions. Maybe the Atreus having his own sort of built out combat was, I don't know, maybe that was a bit unnecessary. I don't think it really added much because it's not like the game was split 50-50 between Kratos and Atreus. He's still Kratos and then the Atreus are just little sort of side things. So maybe that was a little unnecessary. Maybe that was a bit... Maybe they could have put that time towards other stuff. I don't know. I think that the spirit side quests were the only thing that they carried over from that I didn't like in the first game, but there weren't that many of them. Most of the side quests had some flair to them. There were only maybe 4 or 5 of those kind of things.
From above! Bicron!
Damn it.
Good, Red!
move, Kratos! What are you doing?
Above you, brother!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Viper! Shake it off, man! You've got this!
Enemy behind you!
Well, they're teleporting all over the place.
Behind you, Kratos! Behind you, watch
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
Do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed.
I think the personal thing, this is just a personal bias thing, but the thing that I love the most about this game is the fact that it's Christopher Judge playing Kratos, because like you know, I have nostalgia for Stargate SG-1, right? I used to watch that with my dad a lot when I was a kid, and I used to always watch it with my dad because so like hearing his voice, hearing Christopher Judge's voice all the time, just is a bit. It just has that like nostalgia for me, and that it doesn't get old. It is Teal'c and Kratos in equal measure to me. False god. A cruel god, a false god. A go. Right, they said that there was something for us in Alfheim. At, where is the forge? The forge is here, right? I still don't know how we get to that berserker.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you think that's an option?
They've united, haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarök.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
Right, well, I can't remember if there were any things here.
I knew we'd left something behind.
Defend the prison. Rally your forces and make haste to the prison that has fallen in Niflheim. It now lies near the Raven Tree. Don't let the prisoners escape. Is that Mjolnir? And Thrud? Yeah, it is.
Oh, good timing. Remember that thing I said you was gonna want to see?
Yeah,
You
Mjolnir.
better go feast your peepers before it's over.
Excuse me, sorry.
Lunda,
Hi there. I wanted to ask, do you want me to stop talking about your muscles and how you look? and stuff, because it seems like it's making you all wiggly, like in a bad way.
It did, but no longer.
Oh, okay. So I should stop? Sounds like I should stop.
No.
Oh, all right, handsome. You beefcake?
Wait a bloody moment. Is that?
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
You have to
I'll
prove
make
us.
you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her.
Well. Right, we've got 2 shards of Asgard, so we'll go to this one first.
Well, seems like a good time to get back to that story I told.
Yes, yes, yes.
One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions.
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?" The laird just smiles. "Brother, I set that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still." Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed.
Yeah. Oh, waited all that time. 200 hacks in.
Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh, bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim. Her name was Girth, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Girth to wander away. Freyr was heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by light and dark elf alike. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce. The problem was, both sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, I suppose making any kind of peace was an irresistible notion for him. Even if it meant having to rule.
Interesting. Okay, more iron here. What happened then? Oh no! Steed and Sturkey. Oh!
Careful, brother. You're covered in bifrost. Left flank.
Ow! Oh, it's an AoE. Damn it! Oh, come on! Oh, this is tougher than I was expecting.
We have a shield.
Got him. I don't know how I didn't die then.
I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for this.
Ouch. Steenir and Sturkir, brothers still in the service of Odin after Asgard's fall. What they had hoped to achieve in the deserts of Alfheim has now blown away with the sands on the wind. Should any more Asgardian forces remain loyal to Odin, I'll rid this land of them. I still don't think we have the resource we need to get there.
Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland.
Yeah?
But I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
This particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
Again, so a lot of this goes over my head. I mean, I know what Kratos did in a broad sense. Otherwise, it'd still be in Greece and in Sparta, right? Right, we can just fast travel to the next one. It was over here, right, near the Strand. We should be able to see the light. Hey up, brother!
My cross, behind you!
Ow.
Behind you! Incoming! It's regenerating!
Behind you! Watch out!
Oh! Enough of you, big man.
Incoming above you!
Careful, brother! You're covered in bifrost!
Oh no! I've underestimated these fellas.
Incoming back here!
I felt that one, brother!
Oh no, you don't. Enough of this.
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
6 of 10. We are so rich. Right, that was the missing thing from the Strand. There's an Odin's Raven here. Not too bothered about that. Right, so where are we going to go next? If we go here, we should be able to... There was another quest here, right? That I think should open a path over here. Muspelheim has one. We've done the ones in Midgard. Oh, I missed one in Svartalfheim, didn't I? We can't go to Jotunheim. There's nothing in Helheim. There are... Wait, what? There's another Berserker gravestone. Where did that come from? No shards or anything over in the crater. We've got 2 shards in Vanaheim. We're both quite close to Freya's camp. And a new berserker with me. Right. Be nice to finish with a proper boss fight. Or maybe just that was a good one, to be fair, those 2 brothers. Yeah, let's go to Vanaheim. There might be something to commemorate. Freyr here as well.
To Vanaheim, then.
Sounded like Lady Sif managed to convince the old boar to shelter the Aesir refugees.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was his idea.
Oh?
To foster peace among the Vanir and Aesir.
That's brilliant. Shifty bastard must be trying to prove he can out-diplomat me.
At least he's not convincing her to marry someone, like some other diplomats would.
A deservedly low blow, Your Majesty.
Anytime.
Pretty close by.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofur.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only 2 shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Ah, something tells me the centaurs already cleared this stuff out.
Enemy behind you!
Behind you, watch out! Careful, brother. You're covered in bifrost.
Behind you, look out!
Ow!
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
It's regenerating! Behind you! Look out!
Damn you, healers! On it, it's a blue attack, isn't it?
The Alpha!
This is the last!
The Alpha! Use a shield strike!
It's getting destroyed then.
It seems for every camp we destroy, we find 2 more.
It's almost impressive.
Right, has Freya got enough? Sure. Right. Right, this is quite close to Freya's camp, so we'll go and do that first. Maybe Birgir will be here.
An equal force of Vanir and Einherjar must be present at all. Just as their presence would comfort
Kratos,
mine.
Freya,
Damn it.
welcome back. Mimir,
Lady Sif,
Freya,
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
it's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
We know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. They'll help us rebuild. They're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleeding at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Oh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Yeah. Hindlesvini, you old bore. Stay away from Sif.
Back to it then. Where can we set up the farmsteads and the granaries?
We don't do
Granaries.
that kind of thing here. This realm provides us what we need.
What if the winter is harsh? If the food spoils?
Then we hunger. And we learn. Perhaps had you not burned Freyr for trying to teach you...
I did not light that fire. But I was there to witness. Even in death, Odin's legacy of poor leadership endures.
Working together, we can break that cycle faster than apart.
I got more stuff ready to forge. Feels half crazy to say it, but I got a good feeling about that Thrud girl. Never minding what family she came from.
I quite agree. She's an impressive young woman.
I thought you might. Why, I ain't never seen anyone quite so awestruck as when she laid eyes on you back at the hole. Like meeting her idol.
She was apparently quite eager to learn from all the Valkyries. Now that she has Mjolnir, I expect her next stop will be to begin training with Sigrun.
I think Brock and Sindri would be happy knowing that hammer's finally with someone worthy to wield it. And a future Valkyrie, no less.
You say you had something new?
Oh, what can I do for a goddess?
I mean, I prefer the Bifrost.
Impressive.
I might as well.
Know what you want?
Uldra Project number 9. Turn Mimir's discomfort into a Bifrost blast against nearby enemies. Rock and Sindri carefully measured and constructed a harness to weaponize the smartest man alive. Is this one of our relics, or is this... Yeah, I'll try that. I don't like the cooldown length, but... Alright, let's take care of business, then we'll try and finish with the Berserker fight in the hope I am so overwhelmingly powerful that it won't take several hours. Scare the hell out of me. Damn it.
There must be another piece of Asgard up ahead.
She's calling a weaver!
Mummy! Okay.
On your right, Bifrost!
Uh-oh.
Break in concentration! Quickly!
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
It's got like a Bifrost beak.
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians we're protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream.
Right, only two more left. One in Svartalfheim and one in Muspelheim. And two more Berserkers left. One here and one in Niflheim? Yeah. Oh! Since when was there a chest up here? No way! How did I never notice this? Oh, bloody hell. Leviathan's Roar. Powerful axe throw that returns with devastating impact. Kratos is fully protected while shielding. Heavy stun. I don't think I prefer it to Ivaldi's Anvil. I quite like this. But I still like what we've like the setup we've got currently. Right, let's we'll make the last thing we do here. Right, so I'm anticipating we'll have this video, and then the next video. It depends if we. I don't know if we need to do all these Asgard things to get to whatever. What's her name? The Valkyrie, the new Valkyrie Queen. So that would mean we're going to have like the Berserker boss and her potentially in one video. So that will be tough. And then, so maybe we'll have 3 more videos. We'll have this one. We'll take on this bit of Berserker that's here. And then the next video we'll take down the last 2 Asgardian things. and then maybe we'll end up fighting, and then we'll maybe fight the Valkyrie, and then we've got final Berserker and probably the Berserker King as well. And then
found something y'all left behind.
then we've got the Muspelheim challenges, depending on how much
Thanks for
time we've
grabbing
got.
that for us.
Yeah, thanks. And then, then the third video will maybe be the Valhalla DLC. We'll see what that's about. Right. How do we... I think we need to... No, I think we can just take the boat from here, yeah? Sorry. But we need to turn left out of here, then turn right.
Kratos, tell me of an adversary from your homeland. It will serve us well if I understand more of your battle tactics.
There was Medusa, queen of the Gorgons. Her gaze turned men to stone. A mirror would turn her own powers against her. Or, you may remove her head, but that is the hard way.
Which did you choose?
The hard way.
Forget I asked.
I really appreciate there being a post game though. The one thing that I really wish The Witcher 3 had was just a post game world state. I know that it's difficult with a game that has so many different choices, right? Different world states can vary depending on the choices you make. But I just wish there was something. Yeah, it's my favourite game, so I just wish there was just something. But with when there's so many choices that can influence the way things are, it would have been so much more work for them. Almost impossible, really. Oh, really? Oh, we've not been to this bit, then.
Reavers, of course.
Skillfa! It's explosive! Be careful!
A vengeful berserker gravestone.
Patience is piety.
What is wrong?
Please, leave me to my prayers. I await Freya, the great healer.
I am here.
She will cure me. I have been a loyal follower. She would not abandon...
I am Freya. What do you need?
Only she can cure my sickness. With mangold, mire, and poem.
We must help her.
I will.
She demands a cure. She is dead.
She is trapped here, ignorant of her own death. If we bring her what she needs, she'll move on.
You're certain?
I'm not going to do nothing. She needs mangold, mire, and palm. We should find some.
I'm a bit sick of this guy chanting. Oh, is that how it works? Oh right, that's kind of new.
Well done.
Sick of this guy humming.
Milk and song. Be wary.
Get that thing to shut up!
Behind you, watch out!
Incoming left side! From behind! Incoming!
Ow!
Crouch!
Still unpleasant.
Watch your left! It's explosive! Be careful!
Another drawbridge. We'll need to lower it.
Did you recognize her? The sickly spirit?
No. There was a time I could recall the face of every one of my people, but... sometimes I wonder if gods live too long.
I once felt the same.
Anything illuminating?
Dead on arrival. A warning to all who pass this spit of land. The dead here don't lie. Rain or shine in the heat of day and the chill of night. They follow their master's will. Leave now whether you value your life or peace in your death. You do not want the prison of this magic. Necromancy haunts the dirt beneath your feet.
Something hanging from that tree above us.
Thank you for that.
Could be useful.
Oh, we need to swing it, sorry.
Looks like that worked. Well, that did it. Good. I need only one more ingredient for the cure.
And then what?
Then I fix things.
Grip of the Fallen Alchemist. A grip originally forged by an alchemist who was said to be experimenting with runic magic to increase their lifespan. High luck chance to grant a health burst on any successful hit with the Serpent's Snare skill. Serpent snare. That's pretty good, isn't it? Might give that a try and upgrade it. Oh, I think I missed the other one. Guess not.
Switching!
See ya. Right.
That's everything I need. Let's return to the Sixth Spirit.
You would cure the dead.
I promised I would take care of my people.
You do not even remember her, nor she you.
And?
Let us return to the spirit.
Have you finally...
We have collected the plans.
Could this be? I feel my vitality returning to me. I feel... Freya.
I am here.
I knew you would return. Even as the doubters cursed your name.
Thank you. But it's time to rest. You have earned it.
Thank you, my queen. I am tired, indeed.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
Svartalfheim's fortune. Alright, Berserker. I don't like you, and you don't like me. Let's do it.
Wheatsucker the bold.
The king will lead us to glory.
Oh, not a necromancer. He's soft.
Take it off, man.
Enough of you. Enough of your minions.
Incoming.
No!
I've lost her eater.
Oh no, you. Oh.
What's your name?
Oh! Is that an AoE? Damn it, heal!
Right side, incoming.
Got him! First try.
Hunting these berserkers. I am reminded of our search for the Valkyries 2 winters ago.
Oh yeah.
I can see the similarities, aye.
There is one difference. With the Valkyries, you lack spite.
Brother, I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't know the full tale.
I know how it feels to be wronged, and how it feels to achieve vengeance. I would hope to spare you the disappointment.
Aye.
Right, we picked up a new pommel. Okay, this thing again. No, I like what we've got. Excellent. Right. That is us done pretty much. The only thing that we've not really done here is deal with that centaur, whatever they were called. Did everything in the sinkhole. We did everything. Sorry, in the jungle and the sinkhole. It's just there's a few things in the plains. Oh, there's a side quest we've not done. And there's probably a realm tear here. In the Southern Wilds, yeah, that's probably a one of Garm's realm tears. So we could fast travel there, do that. Yeah, cool. Right, I'm glad we did that Berserker fight quick. I was being quite reckless. But I think he was just going to summon more guys, so I think the trick was to ignore the minions and try and focus on him. Anyway, right, we'll pick it up from here next time. Couple more videos, I guess, of post-game stuff and Valhalla. Who knows how long that is, we'll see. Just so you know, the plan after Ragnarok, if you're still watching at this point, I'm going to change to an alternating schedule. So I'm going to start the Elden Ring DLC and I'm going to play Chrono Trigger. So it'll be sort of one day Elden Ring, one day Chrono Trigger. Just because Elden Ring's a DLC, obviously, but I think it might be quite long. But I don't want to just focus on that. I'll split it between those two games. I'm really excited for Chrono Trigger because it's the sort of genre game I grew up on, but I never played. Sort of one of the great titles that I never played when I was younger. So, yeah, right. Well, we'll pick it up for you next time. Carry on. We'll hopefully get to the Berserker King, the Valkyrie, and all the rest of it. So, yeah. Leave me a like if you enjoyed it. And just remember, everyone, never trust an on crate. I'll see you next time.